Hey, lovely people. Right, we are going to be cracking on with issues 9, what are we? We're 2021. Get it right, getting all confused. Right, 20 and 21 because they are basically the same miniature, which is the Swampcrawla Sloggoth. Let's get these open. Ta-da. Right, let's put the plastic aside, file that on the floor. Okie dokie then. Right, so 20 and 21. Now we get a trifold with 20. So armies of Ulgu. That's interesting. This is Ulgu is wreathed in the fog of war. After centuries of conflict, those that have survived in this realm are the wise, the ruthless, and the cruel. The armies that battle for this realm do not just fight with raw strength, but with underhanded tactics and strange magic. Daughters of Cain, Clans Eshin, the Ideneth Deepkin, Blades in the Dark, the Witch Whirl, Hagnar, Misthaven, and the Clarundu Reaving. So these are all locations on this map. So 2, 1, 4, 3. So Hedonites of Slaanesh, that's a cool mini. And then the Darkling Covens as well. So there you go, this is for our red section. H, Realm of Shadow 4. Right, battle games in the Age of Sigmar. Monsters of the Chaos Wastes, Mindstealer Spheranxes, Chimeras, and Kygors. So Spearhead, this is stories. This is our red section A, stories number 1. So Illyria Swiftwind is a sworn protector of the people of the mortal realms. Having endured incredible suffering in order to save a caravan from rampaging Uruks, she has been called to duty once more. Lord Commander Bastian Cartholos has a job for Illyria, one that will test her skills as a warrior like never before. Okay, so it's only a 2-pager. 1, 2. Right, Fire Slayers. Oh, I know somebody that will be really interested to read this. The Fire Slayers are a warrior priesthood of Duardin who are masters at creating magical runes. Each carries a fraction of the divine power of Grimnir, the fallen god of war and fire. They are famed in the realms as relentless warriors who fight to the very last to fulfill their oath to Sigmar and his people. So Magma Holds, Runes, Oaths, and Magma Droths. Cool. Right, Swampcrawla Sloggoth. So you've got D6 rolling chart here for unit traits. I think this is definitely going to have to be several sub-assemblies, I think, in order to be able to paint this. Right, how to build. Swampcrawla Sloggoth. So here we go. Now, I think it's unfortunate that the howdah is actually joined to the body, moulded to the body. I would have liked to have seen the howdah attached separately so that you could paint the crawler, the Sloggoth, and then add the howdah afterwards. But let's crack on and have a look. It may be that I don't glue this to the base. So you get a choice of heads for the Sloggoth. That's nice. So I might, what I might do is build both and leave them off if we aren't using repeated parts. No, it looks like you can build both heads, and then once you finish painting, you can take your pick. So I might leave those off. I might leave the miniatures, the figures off to be painted separately. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best bet, because I think trying to, if you build all this and then try and paint it, I think it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. So I think the figures definitely need to be separate. That's not an issue. I think this back part of the howdah can be left separate. And I won't glue the Sloggoth to the base until it's been painted. Right, your journey continues. Basics 18, mounts, damage tables, using mounts as you collect future issues of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Stormbringer, you'll get your hands on a variety of models, including those mounted or riding behind great beasts of war. War Scroll will tell you if a unit has a mount. Mounts often have their own attacks, such as a sharp hoof kicks or gnashing bites. Mounts never benefit from abilities or other enhancements that would improve their unit's attacks. Check your War Scrolls to see if a model has a mount and what attacks that can make. Core rules, Into the Wild. Dawn of War, playthrough number 20. Crawlboar's raiding party looking to plunder the Stormbringer crusade has been intercepted by brave Stormcast scouts battling shoes. So we're playing with Guard of Steel Soul, the Knight Arcanum, 4 Praetors, 5 Vindictors, and we're having the Cunning crew, the Swampcrawla Shaman, 10 Gut Rippers, and the Beast Skewer Killbow. So that's that one. And then Mask Realm of Shadow Guide to Magic. A practical guide to magic. Okay, so that's our red section, B, Magic 1. And then we've got some build technique basics here. It's giving you a list of key symbols for when you're building. Using clippers, clipping far then close. Using the mold line remover, removing curved mold lines, removing small mold lines. Push fit models. So there's a lot here with regards to sort of like techniques that you can use for building, etc. Okay, then we've got how to paint our Sloggoth, Swampcrawla Sloggoth, and they've done what I've suggested. So they are in sub-assemblies here, and they've kept the howdah, by the look of it, and the Sloggoth separate. The Uruk's all separate as well. So yeah, cool. And they haven't glued the Sloggoth to the base. Okay, so here you go. Using all the paints that we've had so far. And this is where we're up to. With a ghostly white Sloggoth. Core rules introduction. The core rules, building upon the basics, Stormbringer in the Age of Sigmar. The core rules. Okay, so these are rules number 1. So we're getting fully into the proper rule set here. Swampcrawla Sloggoth War Scroll. So it has a 6-inch move, 12 wounds, it's 5 bravery and a 4-up save. The catching nets and snatcher sticks have a 2-inch range, 4 attacks, 4+ to hit, 4+ to wound, no rend but 1 damage. And the raking claws, which I'm assuming come from the Sloggoth, have a 1-inch range, 4 attacks, 3+ to hit, 3+ to wound, they're -1 on rend and 2 damage. Pits of Peril, Alliance objectives. So, Alliance of Order. This realm gate could be key to a Stormbringer crusade. Realm gates are vital for Sigmar's experts and his desired unification of mortal realms. A realm gate to Ulgu would connect this city to the legendary city of Misthaven and other allies of Sigmar and his people. So they're playing with the Knight Arcanum, Guard of Steel, Psalm 5 Vindictors. The Alliance of Destruction. This realm gate opens up new routes for the Crawlboys to ambush their enemies. The magic of Ulgu will be a powerful force for their shamans to master. Additionally, the shadowy caverns may house clans of Gloomspite Gits, potential allies to the Crawlboys war clan. And we're using the Swampcrawla Shaman, the Marshcrawla Sloggoth, and 10 Gut Rippers. Use Battle Map 2 for this game. That's the one with the big spider in the corner. And we're deploying on the short board edges. Right, come down. Let's have a look at the plastic. Come on. Down you come. Don't be shy. So, we have an oval base. Let's have a look and see what size this is. Yeah, it's bigger than the ones that we use for the Outriders. So yeah, we have a sculpt date of 2021 again, and here's that. It looks, do you know what? It looks like you have an option of like the nets, the catch sticks, or the nets for your grots on top, for your uruks on top. So that's interesting. That's cool. So, and the Sloggoth comes in 2 halves, as you can see. There's a war drum. I mean, these nets are actually really nicely moulded. They're really crisp. So that's nice that they've come out that way. These spikes, I'm probably not going to do a lot of cleanup on these because they look really fragile. I don't know if you can see, there's these spikes on this potential collar here. They look really fragile. We've got some chains. But the wood grain on the planking for the howdah looks nice. And it's detailed on both sides, which is really cool. Yeah, this is going to be fun to put together, I think. Like I say, I'm going to try and do it in a few sub-assemblies because otherwise it's just going to make painting it a real pain in the backside. The grots or uruks or whatever it look like grots actually, will be definitely kept separate until they're finished, until the paint and until they've finished painted. But yeah, cool. All right, come back and we'll build it. Hey, lovely, sexy people. Let's build a Sloggoth. Now, the one thing I will say is that I had a breakage. I think this may have been damaged in transit, but it had been bent and was barely hanging on, so I've taken it off. It's not going to impact the overall build. So let's get going. The first thing I'm going to do is glue the two halves of the main body together. So this actually comes together quite well. Like so, which means that adding the glue is going to be quite easy. Now, that's the first part, and then we're going to add in the claws, etc. So we have two claws going on this foot at the back. So, and then a single claw going on to this one. Like thus. So that's what we've got after the first stage. The next stage, ordinarily this would be glued together, but I'm going to glue that on once I've glued this on. Now this goes on and it actually sits in really firmly. So once it's located in the cutout atop the Sloggoth's back, I don't know if you can just see in there, it sits in there quite nicely. Then all we're going to do is just marry up the sides. Like that. So that's one, and then I'm going to glue this on. Like so. Okay, so that's where the breakage was. Let's hope that will sort it out. I do think this was bent during transit. Which has caused the malfunction there. Right, and then I'm just going to dab on some glue on these bits to ensure that they also stick. Like so. Okay. So that's what we've got. We're then going to put the front of the Sloggoth on, and that goes in here. Now, actually, doing a dry fit earlier, it sits in really nicely. So that's it, and just make sure it's in nice and secure. So that's what we've got so far. Next few parts, I'm going to do slightly out of sequence. So the first thing I'm going to do is stick on these feet. And they will only go one way. So that's one, and then that's two. So that's cool. We've then got this spiked collar, which goes on the front. So it goes on like so, and pop some glue in on those bits. Then we are going to add these items. So this one goes this side, and again these are keyed, so they should only go one way, like that. So that will go in there, and then just a dab on there, like that, to get that in position, and then it's the same on this side. Like so. And then just there, like so, and I'm going to just dab a bit underneath these parts here, just to make sure that they are attached. So that's the next stage, next few bits. So we have this item, which is going to go on here. I'm just trying to locate this correctly. So it locates down the bottom where the rest of the cage struts or howdah struts sit, and marries up. So just down there is where that's going to locate, like so. And then it locates along the base of the howdah here. So it's going to get glued there, and then it gets glued just there. Now we have a couple of bits of gubbins, greeblies to add on. So we've got this rope ladder, we've got one this side, and then we've actually got one on the opposite side here that sits in that gap, but it's not been unfurled, so it is attached to the deck. So that goes there like so. Right, then we're going to make the heads. Now I've already made one head, but they go together in basically the same way. So first of all, you're going to put the tongue in and the neck piece. Like thus. And that's into the yolk there, and then you're going to add in the sides of the head. So, and this actually goes together really well. They locate really well on the head, so which is quite nice. And then this piece goes in. So, and that is how the heads go together, basically. And like I say, it's the same on the opposite, on the other one. Now, these are literally just positioned so that they look in slightly different directions. They're more or less the same head. But you would just then add which one you like to the mini. And obviously, depending on which head you add, will kind of show which way the Sloggoth is looking. Okay, right, so the next part of the destructions is we're going to build some grots. So first of all, basically the grots make up the same way, and you've got the body and you're going to stick the catch poles on, or if you were using nets, because you've got the options, so you can either go nets, which would just obviously go on the wrists like that, or the catch poles and the butterfly net there. So come on. So there's that, and then literally put the head on, and that's it for the grots. I'll make the other one up. So there you go, that's one. The other one is exactly the same. And then the head. The third grot, the one banging the drum, that's a slightly different story. So there's these guys. Now the grot banging the drum gets made up from different parts. So the first parts are these, and he's standing on a little chest, but just make sure that the hasp of the chest is facing to the front. You're then sticking on his chest, which locates into the shoulder like so, and the skin of the drum overhangs the belly of the drum. In there, like so. Then you're going to stick on his next bit. Okay, so you do need to just locate that up and into the drum belly and just align it. Okay, so it sits in, and then obviously you want to dab some glue in there. Okay, so he's on his box. We're then sticking on his arm. So both these arms are upraised. And it is slightly keyed. I don't think it's that brilliant a keying as to give the most solid feel for when it's in position, but it's going to be kind of like that. And then this guy's head. So there you go. So that's all our three little grots done. Right, the next thing is there's this contraption on the back, which they're hanging chains and stuff from. So I failed to. Let's just. so we've got these bits, 4 of these bits which attach to this, so the inverted V kind of goes uppermost, and it's actually going to attach to this like so. So I'm going to attach that first, because I think this is going to be a more secure way of doing it, rather than trying to attach this after you've attached all the little fiddly hanging bits. So all of these little hanging bits will attach now onto this. So 1, and then the chains with the open manacle at the bottom goes next. Then we have the single manacle on its own. Like so, and then the second set of chains and manacles like thus. And then this attaches to the back of the howdah here, as you can see. So these 2 bits will marry up in there. Oops, come on. Okay, so that's essentially the Sloggoth and the howdah done, and then you just pick whatever head you want. It's nice that you can make both heads up so that you can see which ones you want. The final part is, where are we? So I'm just trying, because we've got this like anchor stone. Ah, right, I see. So this anchor stone attaches to the yoke around the neck of whatever head you choose, okay? So that's separate until such times as you glue your head on, and then you glue that to the head. But essentially, it's going to go on like so. There's going to be a grot at the back. And then these 2 grots are going to stand on the platform with their catch poles once you've painted them. Okay. And obviously you pick your head. So there you go. That's your Sloggoth. That's how it's built. Hope that was helpful. The only spare parts you've got are literally these 2 catch nets here, which you can swap out for the poles. Alright, see you in the next one. Bye.